Hi, Learn Identity! How's it going? Hey, girl! I'm doing my usual eating and drinking on stream, it's fine. All over one. How you doing, Omega? Let me adjust some settings. So I figured since everybody was very supportive of the Michael Dunn stream I did yesterday, I'll do some more true crime stuff, and I had some free time today, so why not do it today, you know? So this guy, whew, I put a very graphic warning on here because I'm gonna be playing some of the audio, and it's really fucked up. Hello, everyone. So yeah, this case is fucked up. It's kind of fucked up on all angles, honestly. The victims were fucked up. The guy right here was fucked up. It's just fucked up all around. Um, Delali, how you doing? So, I figured before we start this, I said yesterday that I had I had found a video of an interrogation where a guy just like started peeing in the interrogation room. And I actually found it, so I figured we could start this stream off with some like lighthearted funniness before we get to some really fucked up stuff. So let me. Is it this one? Yes, it is. Okay. So This is from the channel Crime Vault, which is where I found out about the the Byron David Smith killings. So this guy, I don't even know who this is. I don't know who this guy has anything to do with or why he's even locked up, but he's just like chilling.
I don't have anything to say to y'all.
I don't have anything.
If you're gonna arrest me, and send me to jail. You understand? I have nothing to say to you people. I'm gonna lay down, y'all. Y'all can kiss my black at that. I think I'm gonna talk to y'all. Get a damn thing to say, y'all. Hey!
Hey! I feel like this guy is. I feel like he's really drunk. Oh, he murdered somebody. Oh my god, I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice the title. Yikes! What is wrong with this man? Murdered his wife. What is this? What is he doing? Yo, man, if you lose that chair, you're not gonna be able to sit down. Let me turn this down a little bit. There we go. That is not gonna get you anywhere, man. So he does this for a couple minutes. And then decides...
Piss on your floor.
I'm gonna piss on your floor.
Yeah.
And there he goes. Starts pissing on the floor. Ugh, I'm gonna piss on your floor. He does need to have a seat.
Why did you say something?
Holly.
You weren't saying you needed to go back?
Holly.
Oh. What are you doing now? I think if he throws the chair up, they'll definitely let him go. And he's gonna throw the chair again.
You can see me.
What is wrong with this guy? Oh, God.
Hey, buddy.
Get this shit out of me.
I don't know. That's exactly what
You
we're doing.
can't make me talk to you.
I know. You're right.
You can't make me talk to you. They're taking the chairs
Right.
from him.
No, I'm not all right.
All right. Well, we can't have nice things.
This is why we can't have nice things. You can't try to pick up the table and throw it. I haven't seen this whole video, so this is really funny. I like watched when he peed.
I'm not talking to you people.
I watched when he peed on the floor and like
But you
was
don't have to
laughing
make me go
so
against it.
fucking
I'm
hard.
pressing charges.
For what? You peed on their floor. Did he like poop on the floor over here? What is this guy doing? What is he doing? What is he? What is this man? Oh, he's breaking the stuff out of the ceiling. Sounds like you got asthma, damn. How you gonna get down, homie? You might hurt yourself. I know if I were to jump from somewhere like that, I would like hurt my ankles. Hey!
Mother.
Oh, God.
Man, you can't get freezing person.
What are you trying to do?
You can't freeze me.
I'm freezing you. Sit down.
You can't freeze me.
Sit down.
You can't freeze me.
Stop tearing up stuff. I won't be tearing this stuff.
You can't freeze me. If I won't talk to you,
Sit down for a big guy.
it'll turn. Eventually.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, you're the cat.
He ripped the table off. Ah. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Put
Put it down. Put it down.
You take me out of here.
Put it down.
Take me out of
They'll
here.
fucking
down.
tase you, dude.
You-
He's gonna take the board.
Mr. Shoulder. Can you stand up?
You gonna beat me up?
No. Stand up.
I don't want to.
I don't wanna.
Stand up for us. There we go. All right, look.
Oh, that face.
Yeah.
What is wrong with this man?
Well, let her take a picture.
Take a
Picture of what you're saying she did.
No. I need a lawyer.
Nope.
I'm 73 years old.
Oh,
I was like this shit.
that was a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be. So, now that we're done, like, getting in a really nice, lighthearted mood, we'll probably watch that video again afterwards because the story is just so fucked up that I'll probably need to watch it again. So, let me move my windows around. Used to be pepper spray. I can't believe he destroyed the whole office. Like, damn. Alright, so this guy right here, his name is Byron David Smith, and he is, how old is he? When this happened, he was 64 years old. So, what happened was on Thanksgiving Day of 2012. What's all these cases I'm doing that are in 2012? It was Thanksgiving Day of 2012, and Haley Kiefer and her cousin Nicholas Brady, so Haley was 18, Nicholas was 17, broke into this guy's house, and he shot and killed both of them when they enter. Hi, off the verge. He shot and killed both of them, which you might think, okay, that's like castle doctrine, I think is what it's called, where you can like defend your home, and if you kill somebody in self-defense, then it's fine. But this is a little different because there is clear evidence that this man had he kind of set up a trap to catch these two. So a little background. He had claimed that so the neighborhood he was in and his house, there had been burglaries in that area for at least a dozen times. What he claims, over the past few months, and yet he only reported one burglary to the police, which I found really odd. But the thing is, like I said earlier, both sides were kind of fucked up, but this guy just went way too far. Haley and her cousin, they were burglars. They had broken into a lot of people's houses over the past few months. So he decided, investigators, let's see, hold on. He had reported one previous burglary to police, and investigators only found evidence of 2 previous burglaries. Among items stolen were $4,000 in cash, his father's prisoner of war watch, coins from a collection, and a chainsaw. So that is a lot of stuff that was stolen. So I get it. I get, like, but why wouldn't you call the police and report it, or be like, listen guys, if I leave my house, they're gonna break in, you guys better stake out my house, or something like that. So he started wearing a holster with a gun, like, in his home. Could you see it both ways? Honestly, I think if this guy, let's say he had only shot them once, like each, he had only shot them once and they both died, I'd be like, okay, I get it, because dude is trying to protect himself. But I have the audio, and you'll hear just how fucking, like, insane this guy is. Like, lack of a better words here. He is it's very premeditated what he does. So he began wearing a holster with a loaded gun in his home, and he started putting water and granola bars in his basement to, I guess, kind of camp out down there. And like I said, those Haley and Nicholas, they're not innocent in the slightest. Believe me, they sound like they're just kind of some shitty people. So Nicholas was being investigated for prior burglaries, including one earlier on the day they were killed. So what happened was, oh hi Michael. So a little bit of a rundown of the case. So he drove his truck down the road, parking it in front of a neighbor's house, which he claimed was to clean out his garage. Hold on, there was something I saw here. Hold on. Dang it, where did that go? I saw something that basically said, like, he moved his car to, they claimed that he was, hi Cal Pill! He claimed he moved his car to clean his garage, but it was very obviously, like, premeditated, like, setting these two up to think that his house was empty. By his own account to police, Smith had been visiting neighbors when he saw Kiefer, who he suspected was responsible for the burglaries, driving towards his home. He commented that he needed to get ready for her and went back to his home. Upon entering his home, Smith turned on a recording device he owned. He removed the light bulbs from the ceiling lights and positioned himself in a chair that was obscured from view. He heard the window upstairs break and Brady climb in, which is captured on audio. Smith then waited in silence for 12 minutes until Brady began to descend to the basement. Smith shot Brady twice on the stairs and once in the head after he fell to the bottom of the stairs. So here's where I have an issue. Twice on the stairs, I'm fine with. If you're still looking for the face makeup call, it's Lauren Ramona breakup call. Thank you, Kelp Pill. Thank you so much. I have been scouring through all of my folders trying to find that. So let me make a note of that real quick. Okay. So next time I do a Lauren thing, I will be doing the face makeup call, I promise. So what was I saying? Oh, so if he had only shot this guy, if he only shot him twice and let him fall down the stairs and he was just like groaning in pain, like, oh, that, I don't know if I'm the only one, but your volume is too low for me. Oh, let me turn it up, hold on. Okay. I think it's a different edit because it's only like 25 minutes long. Okay, that's fine. To be honest, I know most of us are just like, we want to hear Lauren accuse Ramona of wearing face makeup, so. So yeah, he shot and killed Nick Brady. And then Smith then made taunting remarks to Brady's body, wrapped it up in a tarp, and dragged him to another room. He went upstairs, and 10 to 15 minutes later, he ran back down to the basement, reloaded his weapon, took up his previous position of the obscured chair. Minutes later, Kiefer entered the home and could be heard calling her cousin's name. As she made her way down the stairs, Smith shot her. Wounded, she fell down the stairs, and Byron can be heard on the recording saying, "I'm sorry," after his gun jammed. And then Kiefer yelled, "Oh my god," very quickly. Smith shot her again, multiple times in the torso, and once next to her left eye, with a high-standard .9 convertible 22 caliber single-action revolver. He repeatedly called her derogatory names and dragged her into the other room, tossing her body on top of her cousin's. And then shot her one final time under the chin, killing her. Audio and oh, I didn't know there was video. Audio and video of the events were recorded by his security system. So yeah, I think that's my biggest problem with this. Like, I totally understand this man is protecting his home, and if he had just shot them, like, to incapacitate them, then I'd be like, okay, fine, whatever. These guys are assholes who get what they deserve, but you can hear, like, in the audio, you can hear how afraid that, like, Haley is, and it honestly, like, it makes me feel really bad for her. Like, since I think they were only 18 and 17, so it's like maybe they could have, learned at some point to, hey, don't be shitty like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too, like, squishy. So, he didn't immediately report the deaths to the police, which is another, like, thing that was, like, just so fucking icky about this. He waited until the next day to notify police of shootings, claiming he didn't want to bother the police on Thanksgiving. A 22, that's terrible. The bullets probably didn't exit, just bounced around hitting organs. He did that on purpose. Oh, yeah. Like, I don't know a lot about guns, but I know that, a revolver can pack quite a punch. And I think he had another type of gun, too. I think he had a rifle. So either way, he had picked two guns that he knew would fuck them up. Let's see. Morrison County Sheriff Michael Wetzel has acknowledged that Brady and Kiefer were there to burglarize Smith's residence. Like I said, not excusing these two. It was very fucked up what they were doing. However, it's just kind of sad, I guess, because these guys are young and, like, I guess they just haven't had, like, great parenting, or they really, when you're at that age, your brain is still developing. You're not the person that you're going to be yet. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's been proven that, like, teenagers, a lot of, like, not every teenager, but a lot of teenagers are still developing, like, their senses of empathy and stuff like that. Let's see. Smith's statements. Oh, here we go. Brady's sister claimed Brady stole drugs from her home on August 28th, a case that was still under investigation at the time of Brady's killing. Evidence recovered from the car driven by Brady was linked to the burglary of a residence of a retired teacher the night before, he and Kiefer were killed by Smith. Smith's statements to police described delivering the coup mortel kill shots to the heads of both teens after he had shot them on the stairs and they lay wounded on the basement floor. In his statement, Smith said that Kiefer had let out a short laugh after she fell down the stairs, saying, "If you're trying to shoot somebody and they laugh at you, you go again." What the fuck? That's fucked up. There right there just shows how fucked up this man is. If they laugh at you when you shoot them, you gotta shoot them again. No. No, you don't, man. The audio tape did not record Kiefer laughing, and said she cries, "Oh my god." Hi, asshole! We're gonna listen to some fucked up shit pretty soon. The audio tape did not record Kiefer laughing, and said she cries, "Oh my god," very rapidly in fear. In police interviews, Smith acknowledged firing more shots than I needed to, and that he fired a good, clean finishing shot into Kiefer's head. And that's my issue with this. You can tell he's one of those people, kind of like Michael Dunn, who's just like waiting to shoot somebody. And from what I understand, this man is probably, I think he was a veteran, which it's really fucking sad. This whole story is just sad, honestly, because I believe he had, oh, that's good. I hope you had a good lunch, asshole. Did you have a bologna sandwich? So the whole case is sad. It's like you have this guy who was, I'm assuming, has some sort of PTSD and has been horribly warped by his traumas. And then you have these two teenagers who are being really shitty, and I guess they still haven't learned, like, the rights and wrongs of the world, and they just get killed. It's just a real fucked up case all around. Let's see. Legal analysis have stated that the initial shootings most likely would have been justified under Minnesota's laws. But how do you feel about Vince? He was 19 when he got caught by Chris. That one, so honestly, I feel less grossed out by him, because it's like, once you start getting to, like, 20, like, in your 20s, that's when it starts becoming really creepy. I'd say 19 is definitely pushing it. It's definitely, like, right at the verge of being fucking gross and just sickening. I feel like at that point, it kind of seems like more of, like, a power thing rather than I'm attracted to, like, little girls thing. 'Cause, I mean, I'm sure we've all seen when we went to high school, there was, like, the seniors who were dating the freshmen. Like, I feel like it was one of those situations, if anything else. I had a whole bunch of nothing fixed in a little different way. Aww. So yeah, so the subsequent shots were not justified once any threat had been removed, and that's my issue with this whole case. He could have just, I think I read somewhere that the neighborhood was plagued by theft and breaking and enterings. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was these two who, I think it was Haley and her cousin Nick, who were just robbing places. The law doesn't permit you to execute somebody once a threat is gone. Yep. The University School of Law professor Joseph Olson said, "I think the first shot is justified. After the person is no longer a threat because they're seriously wounded, the application of self-defense is over." Hey, QWERTY! Yeah, this guy, you're about to hear, that's why I have this labeled as, like, a graphic, like, kind of stream, because I haven't listened to the entire audio call, but I skipped ahead to hear, like, when the shootings actually happen, and they're really, like, they're hard to listen to. Like, it's not, I've heard worse, but I think hearing anybody just get shot and killed is just really hard to hear. So, and he does, like, creepy ASMR into his recording device, like, the whole call. It's fucking weird. Oh, I shouldn't say call. God, I'm sticking with, like, pornography here. His recording, I should say. So, yeah, this guy killed two teenagers. He was found guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder with premeditation and 2 counts of second-degree murder. and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The audio recordings were named by jurors as the biggest influence on their decision, and that was the most damning piece of evidence in my mind, one of the 12 jurors said following the trial. The audio recordings of the actual killings and the audio recording of Mr. Smith's interview immediately after his arrest pretty much convinced me that we were dealing with a deranged individual. Yeah, its face is pretty graphic looking. So, that's just like an outline of the whole case. I thought I'd read. I figure before we like go into like the audio and video of these kind of cases, I'd just do like a little overview in case people don't know. So let me move my windows back around, and there isn't captions on this, sadly, so I'm gonna turn this up. I do have a timeline of when the shots take place are, so I don't think it was as simple as one shot. If a criminal is running towards me, I'm going to most likely fire 2 to 3 times before the threat is gone. Yeah, I think, honestly, if, like I said before, if he had left it at, he shot Nick 2 times to make him fall down the stairs, shot Haley in the arm to make her fall down the stairs, if he had just left it at that, I feel like it would be fine. Or if, I mean, like you said, 2 to 3 shots because you're afraid for your life, then yeah. But this guy, you can tell he was just so fucking ready for it. In the case of someone trying to get away in their truck. Oh god, you guys are so funny. So, like I said, this is kind of graphic. I have a timeline of when people, like when the shots and the killings happen. So I'll pause it and like warn you guys beforehand, just because it is a really graphic thing. So let's get started with this crazy motherfucker. I think it's just starting up. Let me turn my volumes up. Oh yeah, he was acting like a sniper. Ooh, that's the glass breaking, I guess. Yeah, that's the glass breaking. I think even Chris felt bad for him. I think he wasn't going to release the footage. He only did because he... Yeah, honestly. Greed pushes you to do some stuff. So you can hear he's trying to be really quiet, and it's literally just glass breaking because Nick just broke him. So not much going on right now, but just some silence because he's trying to... His shirt's in coffee. Coffee. Okay, so I'll pause this real quick just so you guys can have a minute to... It's coming up in about 20 seconds when Nick gets shot to death. Does this dude look like the guy in the last case I covered? They all kind of look the same. They just look like... They're just like weird old white guys. So, Just warning you, we're about to hear this kid get shot to death. God, I might want to turn the volume down a bit.
You're dead.
That's fucked up. When he's like, you're dead. I think this is when he starts talking to himself. What the hell is he? Is this when he's wrapping him in a tarp? I think that's when he was wrapping him up in a tarp, which... Yikes. When does he start his crazy ramblings? I could have sworn it was sooner than this. Sounds like he's just doing, murdery type things in there. I didn't know there was, like, footage, though. Hadn't have recorded himself, there's a very good chance he might have received a not guilty verdict. Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, who gets this giddy about recording yourself killing somebody? I think that's, like, that literally is, like, the damning piece of evidence right there. Oh god, sounds like he's, doing something with a gun. What is he doing? Sorry this is like a lot of dead air. I skipped around a bit and I heard a lot more insane rambling. I don't know what he's doing at this point. I think he just shot and killed somebody, and I think he's preparing to, like, shoot and kill somebody else. I'm not... Like I said, I skipped around and heard a lot more insane ramblings, so... He could have argued fear. A coroner might not have been able to determine when each shot occurred. Oh, yeah. What really bothers me is the execution shots. That's what bothers me, too. Yeah, I thought that was reloading. the bullet. You can hear the bullets now. What's he doing? Oh, I know he went back upstairs. I might skip ahead a little bit. Hold on. You gonna be doing your ramblings yet, sir? Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna keep skipping ahead. 'Cause there's a lot of dead air. I don't think he starts rambling until after he shoots Haley. This is like the world's creepiest ASMR. I don't like that he's breathing in my ears. Oh. Okay, so in about a minute, you're gonna hear him shoot Haley. Keep skipping ahead a little bit. Can you imagine, like, being the guy who has to sit and listen to this for evidence and just be like, dead air, huh? Okay, 20 seconds, and just, here's your warning. In 20 seconds, he is going to shoot... Sorry, in probably 30 seconds, I should say. He is going to shoot her. She is going to fall down the stairs. She is going to shoot her again and kill her. So, just 30 seconds from now, just warning you guys. She's looking for a cousin. Is it loud? Yeah, I'd say keep it at lower volumes, but I'll turn it down a little bit.
Oh, sorry about that. You're dying.
He just called her a bitch. He recorded this because he's fucking insane, Qwerty. It's horrifying to hear that. I think hearing hearing Haley is what made me just feel so bad for these two. Like, I know they were like, you know, robbing houses and stuff, but you can't help but feel bad for people when you hear them in their death throes. I think this is when he starts rambling. Unless he's gonna do more tarp stuff with her. I think he just called her a bitch again. I'm sorry, I didn't know that was gonna be so loud. What did he say? Hold on.
I'm safe now.
I'm safe now. Again, I'm really sorry about the sound.
Cute. I'm sure she thought she was a real pro. No rush, but, you know, when it's convenient for you.
Here's the rambling.
Check out the waffle trend. Check out the jacket trend. I feel a little bit safer. Not totally safe. I'm still shaking a bit, but a little bit safer. No rush, but, you know, as convenient for you. I left my house at 11:30. They were both dead by 1.
Oh my god.
I refuse to live in fear. I felt like I was cleaning up a mess. Worse than spilled food. Worse than vomit. Worse than shit. Cleaning up a mess.
What the fuck?
You're dead.
What is wrong with this man?
There was a major complication in my life.
Yo, Qwerty, I hate it. I hate it too. I understand if you want to leave, because it's gross.
You really don't want to know. Believe me, you don't want to know.
Sorry, I'm eating non-perio, however you say it.
I am not a bleeding heart liberal.
I'm not a bleeding heart liberal. Yeah, that's fine, Qwerty. I'm planning on doing like the interview and stuff later if you wanna come back for that. Oh, you're okay, Qwerty.
I felt like I was cleaning up a mess.
Hey, Gorilla Spawn. You came to my creepy ASMR hour.
Not like spilled food. Not like vomit. Not even like diarrhea.
He already said this. Why is he saying it
The
again?
worst mess possible.
See ya, asshole.
And I was stuck with it.
Oh god, he really makes this hard to
Yes,
balance the audio.
Respect. And some tiny little respect. I was doing my civic duty. Because the law enforcement system couldn't handle it, and I had to do it.
He just said he had to do it, guys. Lauren never even meant to do it, and then Byron David Smith had to do it. He is ensuring his own guilty verdict. Exactly, Kelpill.
I had to do it.
Had to do it.
The law system couldn't handle her. And it fell in my lap. And she dropped her problem in my lap.
She dropped her problem in my lap? What does that mean? What the hell does that mean?
She threw her problem in my face. and I had to bring it up. I have not yet called the sheriff.
What the fuck?
They weren't human. I don't see them as human.
They weren't human. I don't see them as human. Ugh. That's a lot to digest.
I see them as vermin.
I see them as vermin. Is what he just said.
Social mistakes. Social problems. I don't see them as human. I see them as social criminals. This bitch was going to go through her life spoiling things for other people. Thieving, robbing, drug use.
I cannot understand him at all. It's like trying to decode Roy.
It's too cold. The gravel driveway is blocked. You have to go north to the next one north of that.
What?
Then park 100 yards north of the corner and walk in from the west.
What the fuck?
Until somebody shoots you.
What is he talking about?
It's all fun, cool, exciting, and highly profitable. Until somebody kills you.
This guy is insane.
It's begging to have him shoot me. That's like begging to have him shoot me.
What? What?
Yep. You should see the rugs on the basement floor.
What the fuck? Yeah, honestly, Kelpill, like, he could have tried insanity, cause, this is a lot.
It's a sucker shot. People going down strange stairs naturally watch the steps. Like I give a damn who she is.
Okay, my question is, why is he so, what's the word I'm looking for here? All of his, like, little comments are towards Haley, and not Nick? Like, he's just constantly talking about Haley, and that's really weird to me.
Like I care who she is. No risk. I'm sorry. So much regret. I try to be a good person.
Did you?
I try to do what I should, be friendly to other people, help them when I can. Try to be a good citizen, not cheat people, be fair.
Bro, you killed 2 people. Okay, I think he may be feeling more guilt towards her since it took longer. Oh yeah, I can definitely see that just from how much he's saying, like, oh, her problems fell into my lap and stuff like that. I think I'm done listening to him do his, oh yeah, she knew what was happening. I think I'm done listening to his creepy ASMR because there's only like 5 minutes of it left. So let me sort. Let me get the. I gotta get the interrogation set up. Hold on. Oh, is this not a video? Well, dang, that's lame. But alright. Get the interrogation going.
Smith. And I live at 143.
Hold on, Byron.
Okay.
What is your date of birth?
11 June 48.
So, say it again, I'm sorry. You said 11 June 48.
Yeah.
So, June 11th, 1948? Or?
I use the military terminology. Yeah. June 11th, 48.
Okay. All right. So, June 11th, 1948. That's
Real quick, it's interesting because maybe because he talked to her. Yeah, that's what I think. Looking through the playlist of videos here about this case, one of the videos is from True Crime Daily with Chris Hansen about this case. Just thought that was kind of funny.
your date of birth, correct? Okay. And, yeah, Byron, what is your home address?
14319 Elm Street.
Sorry for all the audio
Formerly
fuckery.
709 Riverwood.
Okay. But you live at 14319 Elm Street,
Yeah.
off of, in the Riverwood area, correct? In Little Falls.
Elm Street.
Elm Street, Little
Yes.
Falls, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the zip code there?
56345.
Okay. And Byron, before I ask you any questions, you had currently been placed under arrest, Byron, today while out at your residence. Is that fair to say?
Ha!
Yes.
Lame
Okay.
ass. You've been arrested.
And before I ask you any questions in regards to the reason or why you, the reason that led up to why you were placed under arrest was explained to you at the scene, is that correct?
Because there were bodies, and that's a good reason.
Okay, yes, and that was explained to you, that's why you were
Yes.
placed
What? The way he answered that was just so weird.
under arrest at that time, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, Byron, before I ask you any questions in regards to what had happened, I'm going to read you what's called the warning and consent form. These are your Miranda warning legal rights. Have you ever heard of your Miranda warning rights?
Yeah, anybody who watches TV hears them.
Okay, so you've heard.
Why is this guy such an asshole? Like, oh god, I am so sorry about the audio, by the way. I know I keep apologizing about it, but it's these videos have such like inconsistent audio that I'm just like, oh, cool. Hey Scarlett, you just missed the creepy ASMR. Yeah, this guy just sounds like a big asshole.
Heard of them
Yes.
before, right? Okay. Byron, before we ask you any questions, you must understand what your rights are. You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Anything you say can be used against you in court. Do you understand that?
I understand that.
Okay. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we question you and to have him with you during questioning. Do you understand that?
I understand that, and I waive
Nightmare on Elm Street, creepy. Yeah, honestly.
that considering the circumstances.
Okay.
What? He waived his right to a lawyer? Drake, I'll have to look that up. Hold on. I'll
If
just
you
play it and
cannot
look it up.
afford a lawyer and want one, a lawyer will be provided for you. Understand that, Darren?
I understand that.
Okay. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to...
Oh shit. Gorilla Spawn. I was actually planning on doing this case soon, cause that's one of those cases like the Michael Dunn case that like really sticks with me. So yeah, I'll do that one. I'll do that one next, cause that's a really fucked up one too.
stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand that, Mary?
I understand that.
Okay.
I may choose to skip one question or whatever. But
That's your choice, yes, by all means, Byron.
That's your
And then
choice, Byron.
With your rights in mind, are you willing to talk to me at this time?
yes,
Okay. Do you have any questions about your rights that I explained to you?
it's very clear.
Okay. And you're willing to talk with me and can, about any questions I have in regards to this?
Yes.
matter? Okay. Now, Byron, I got called out to your residence today, basically on some information that something might have happened at your house.
Going back on the wall, just gonna be listening. Okay, thanks for stopping by off the verge.
Um, Either today or yesterday.
More specifically, I called my good friend Bill Anderson, who is a neighbor,
Okay.
and asked him to contact a lawyer.
That one occurred at a convenience store, right? Yeah, it did. It was another one of those, like, Michael Dunn, like, oh, this person's coming at me, like, it's an incident with parking at a car, like, parking in a parking space, and it was very similar to the Michael Dunn case. It was really, really sad. I was up half the night watching true crime, and here I go again. Yeah, this is slowly becoming not just a TCAP channel, but just a true crime channel, because I am addicted to true crime.
He wasn't able to. Apparently they're all busy today. The offices are closed.
Okay.
Since he was not able to contact a lawyer, I asked him to contact the Morrison County Sheriff's Department next.
Okay. You asked him to, Bill Anderson?
I asked him to call you.
Okay. And then, now Bill, how long have you known Bill Anderson?
Basically since he moved in. It must be 20, 25 years.
Okay.
No, maybe it's more than that. Anyway,
For a long time.
Someone who parked in a handicapped space who didn't have a placard. Yeah, I do find that fact of the case really fucking annoying. But still, it's not enough of a reason to, you know, shoot and kill somebody. Like, if anything, if I remember correctly, people, like, specifically said that, like, I think his name, Michael, yeah, Michael Draka, he, like, specifically would always come around to that convenience store and be like, I'm the protector, and stuff like that, so,
Okay. How long have you lived at your residence there?
I have been physically resident since March 2009. However, it has been my home of record since the house was built in September of '66.
Okay. So you've had that place for quite a long time then,
Yeah.
correct? Okay.
It has always been my home, and before that
he
we
would
lived
start
on
crap
the
all the
west
time
side.
there. Yeah, he was just, it's just
Do you
another...
live at the residence with any?
Another one of these guys who is like, I have a gun and I really want to shoot somebody. Like, just chill. If you wanna have a gun and go shoot, go to a gun range. Like, damn. Like, even I've been to a gun range. I live in a really liberal state, so.
Anybody, or do you live by yourself?
I am by myself. My mother passed away 3 years ago.
Okay. Now, you said that you had talked, and you called and talked with Bill Anderson. When did you call and talk with Bill Anderson?
I first called him about 11:30 this morning.
Okay. And then when you called Bill, what did you ask him for something? Is that correct?
Bill is the only person I have shared the breaking and entering series with.
Oh, God.
Okay.
As
So-
a neighbor, I feel it's important, and I trust him absolutely.
Sure. So when you called Bill, you said this morning at about 11:30 it was, right? Is
I
that
said
correct?
that I had a problem, and I would appreciate it if he got a lawyer and asked him to come over to my house.
Yeah, he
Okay.
did say his mother passed away.
I don't know the local lawyers very well. I
Sure.
have, almost not. But Bill seems to know everybody.
Okay. All right. And was he able to get a hold of a lawyer for you or anything?
No, he wasn't.
No.
He totally failed. He even tried Brainerd,
Oh,
and
okay.
he did find a couple, but they are only involved in minor stuff like
His
deeds
best
and
friend's
wills.
mom had cancer.
And like just to confirm with you, it's your choice at this time that you wish to waive or have an attorney present with you while you talk to me, correct?
Yes, and if I find anything that I object to, I'll let you know
Okay.
immediately and clearly.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Now, how many times did you talk with Bill Anderson about this?
Oh, there was just today?
Yeah.
Today, we had back and forth phone calls. There must have been 10 or 12 when he was calling me with the latest. I was calling him with, well, okay, that didn't work, what next?
Okay. You initially told Bill that somebody broke into your house, is that correct?
Oh, Bill knew that somebody broke into my house, yes.
Oh, Bill knew.
He knew that there was a secret.
The entitlement of these fuckers to think they are so allowed to kill people that they don't need a lawyer. Oh yeah. How is it possible this paragon of a man never found a lady to marry? Oh, wow, it's just, I'm surprised he didn't have all the girls, like, mailing their panties to him.
Sequence going. He didn't know that.
But yeah, Girl Spawn, these guys are, oh yeah, they tell their side, exactly, they're so proud of, like, yep, I shot him, and I was right. Like, fuck you, dude.
That it had happened again.
Okay.
And I tried to be very non-specific, but he could guess.
Okay. Did you specifically tell Bill that you had maybe shot somebody that broke into your house or anything? Or?
No, but
Okay.
Bill knows that I was having a major problem and that I might do
Oh yeah, it's like these guys have such an inflated sense of, like, not inflated sense, but like a warped view of, like, the police system, and that, like, yep, I killed the criminals for ya, there you go. It's like, no, this is not the Punisher comic. The Punisher's kind of a bad guy. Don't be like the Punisher.
something.
Although the Punisher is one of my favorite comic book characters, just saying.
Okay. So you've actually been having problems with people breaking into your house, is that correct?
The same people, the same pattern. It goes back a long time.
Okay.
Then why didn't you
When did
report it
that
to the cops, you fucker?
When did it start where people
First
were
time
breaking
it
into your
happened
house?
was, I'm guessing, 12 to 15 years ago, and there was a sheriff's report on it. When they
Wait, did he say 12 to 15 years ago? These guys were children. If he's trying to blame Haley and Nick on it, they were literal children.
broke into the garage and tore up a bunch of packing cases, threw glassware on the floor to break it, and stole a bunch of clothing.
Okay.
Now, I try to not be sexist, but when somebody steals clothing and ignores the tools, I tend to think it's a woman.
Okay. What kind of clothing did they take here?
He does realize that, like, Scarlett, you're a nerd. You collect comic books, even though I have a whole tote of comic books, like one of those IKEA totes in my storage unit full of comic books, because I don't have room for them in my house yet. But he does realize that, like, not that I'm saying that this stunning gentleman here would have, like, high fashion items, but he does realize that you can steal and, like, any gender can steal and sell clothes for, like, a high price, right? Like, there's certain brands that automatically have high value.
Remember that time? Was it women's clothes or men's clothes? Something different?
Military clothes, you know, the kind of unisex stuff that...
Sure.
And not
I
only...
was in the military. They stole my military clothes. Did you know I was in the military and they stole my military clothes?
that, but the following week, Ashley Williams was seen wearing my Flightline military jacket from the Air Force to school.
Okay. Ashley Williams, you said?
Yeah.
Who is
And
that?
how do you know this Ashley Williams?
I've never met her,
Okay.
except maybe now, and then it's not sure, but I've never met her.
Okay.
Wait, is he... Who is Ashley Williams? Is he saying that it's this girl? It's Haley?
But you heard that somebody saw her, or you saw her?
Bill has close relationship with the schools because he does fundraising, and he asked, and this was reported to him.
Okay.
However, since it was gossip and rumor, it wasn't official evidence.
Okay. So you heard,
And-
Bill told you that he saw Ashley Williams potentially wearing
He
some of
didn't
your
see her.
clothing?
He heard that she had been wearing it.
Okay. Okay.
And you should check this with him because I want to be totally accurate on, but I assume he saw her wearing it to the bus.
Okay. And this
Yeah.
was like a camouflage jacket?
No.
Cold shirt?
I was in 68 through 72, and at that time everything was olive drab. And at that time, they stitched the reflective stripes on the coats for use on flight lines.
Why is he talking this
Shortly
in-depth
after
about
that,
his
they
jacket?
shifted to requiring vests, you know, with the full reflective
Like, no offense, dude, who the fuck cares about your jacket?
and colors and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So this coat, 20 years later, was very rare. You know, it's not the sort of thing you would find laying around, and mine was gone, and she was seen wearing it. So there was some reasonable suspicion there.
Sure.
And apparently she was not in full possession of her facilities because she dropped stuff all the way home that Bill collected the next morning.
Total bullshit. Some old man heard some schoolgirl was wearing his clothes. Bullshit. Yeah, exactly. Like, who? He has no wife, no children. Who does he hear is talking about is wearing his clothing 12 years ago? Bunky was a child when he stole Lauren's toy, so it's possible.
In your house?
Yeah, well, stuff that she had collected in her arms, and it was falling out of her arms on the way home.
So kind of a trail from where she had broken into.
That trail of dropped stolen stuff she was taking home.
Did that trail of broken or dropped stuff, was that in your yard at all?
Yeah, it was down the driveway,
Okay.
leading towards their house.
So is Ashley Williams a neighbor of yours? Your guys'?
My closest neighbor.
Okay. So she lives, what, right next door?
At the end of my rather large yard.
Okay.
So what, you think...
Okay.
So, yes, they are my closest neighbor.
Okay. Do you know Ashley's parents at all?
I have tried very hard to avoid them.
Okay.
They're nasty people.
Oh, you saying they nasty people.
Got along with them?
I'm sorry, I give like the least professional commentary about this shit.
I have avoided not getting along with them.
Fucking Lauren at 50 can't see his dad was trying to teach him to share with Bunky. Yeah, exactly. Munkled onto my sister's leg.
Okay.
They have misused and abused too many other people I know for me to have anything to do with them. I limit myself to being polite.
Okay.
You know, if I see them by the mailbox, I'll say good morning.
Mm-hmm.
I've never intentionally talked with them about anything, except last year.
Except that they stole my jacket.
The spruce in the neighborhood have a fungus disease. And I went to the door and gave them a Xerox copy of how to identify it and how to treat it, just because getting rid of an infection in the neighborhood's a good thing. There was no social interaction. They took the paper and shut the door.
Okay. Okay.
But
And this Ashley.
If anything, they're probably like, oh god, our fucking neighbor, Byron is so creepy. Fuck spell change. Yeah, fuck that shit. When I use it on my my iPad for like schoolwork, it always autocorrects what I want it to say. Lauren doesn't like to share his property, whether it's a toy or his imaginary girlfriend.
Yeah, do you know where she's still currently living at home with her parents?
she's in and out a lot.
Okay. So
Why
you've
are
seen
you
her
bringing her
recently?
up?
I haven't seen her. I know what her car looks like
Okay.
because Bill pointed it out to me.
Okay.
Bill watches everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, he pointed out her car, and I see it there occasionally.
Okay.
Occasionally meaning like several times a month, maybe a couple times a week.
What kind of car does she drive?
It's a white Alby thing with an ugly, coming apart, green vinyl roof.
Okay. Was she ever there with a boyfriend that you saw, or another boy, or?
They're too far away from my house to see.
Sure. I was just wondering if you
Yeah,
ever saw that. Okay. And so you've heard and suspect that Ashley Williams had been breaking into your place on different occasions.
He is one
that
of those
correct to say?
weirdos.
Yes.
Okay. And now, in particular, you had an incident that happened just recently at your house, a break-in, correct?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
That would be about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And the break-in occurred by kicking in the panel on the basement
Welcome back,
door.
QWERTY.
Okay.
The paneling around the door was
You basically missed him, like, talking about how his neighbor robbed his house, like, 12 years ago. And was like, oh yeah, if somebody steals clothes, it's a woman, and she stole my military jacket and was wearing it to school. Pfft, okay, where'd you hear that, dude?
I mean, a round was shattered, and then they reached through that panel to open up the deadbolt and the knob lock.
Okay. Were you home at the time this happened?
No.
Okay. Do you know if this happened during the day or at night?
Very specifically, I left to go shopping at St. Cloud 11:30 in the morning.
How do you remember this exactly?
And when I came back at 6 o'clock, the place had been thoroughly gone through, with the missing items as shown in the report.
Okay.
So, I know for sure it happened exactly when I was gone. And it's right down to within, 5 or 6 hours, which makes me suspect that it was someone who saw me come and go.
Okay. Okay.
Beyond that, the following day, on Sunday,
Bill
I
watches
was
everything
at
as
the
pictures of
adjacent
the
property
schoolgirls'
to the north,
outfits.
which I bought as an investment.
Mm-hmm.
I had not been there since Thursday. Sometime between Thursday and Sunday afternoon. The break-in at my house was exactly Saturday afternoon. Sometime between Thursday and Sunday afternoon, the garage sidewalk door was kicked open, brutally, frame shattered, lock ruined. Inside the garage, boxes were opened and tipped and dumped. I wasn't keeping anything of value there, so there was nothing to steal, but the place was made a mess of. Then there's a basement door on the southwest corner of that house.
Like Jim Can't Swim says,
The
offering too
basement
many
door was
details she was
kicked in,
covering up.
again,
Exactly.
frame shattered, lock ruined.
It's a good way to catch some
And
liars,
throughout
like
the
Lauren.
house, storage closets were left with the doors open, and drawers were left half open.
Okay. Did you call and report that incident?
I turned in a written report to Jamie asking him to investigate.
Okay.
Fuck
I
is
have
Jamie?
not had confirmation that he investigated, but I assume he did.
Okay.
I would like to get a copy of that also. So anyway, yeah, I reported the time limits that I observed and
Avenging the brutal treatment of his
and
screen
the damage
door.
that I observed and asked him
They
to
destroyed
verify
my
and
screen
document.
door.
Okay.
There was also a tool bag stolen. Ashley ignores tools, but it looks like she wanted the bag because there were tools left alongside the bag that weren't taken. But it was a nice bag.
So you suspect a female party stole it?
It's the
Why
same
does he?
pattern all
He
the way
really
through.
wants to pin this
Okay.
on Ashley.
Okay. No.
And that's years later after the previous one.
Sure.
He's like, I know that fucking bitch Ashley took it. I know she did. Like, damn.
So, the house was thoroughly gone through. There was nothing there.
Okay.
It's an empty house that I'm restoring after being vandalized this past spring.
Okay.
But that's a different story,
Yeah.
unrelated.
No, you told me at your residence today that your house had just been broken into. Can you tell me about that?
Okay, I had not gone to
Not the
anyone
nice
for
tool bag,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
I am somewhat uncomfortable with other people's family holidays. Some
What?
people enjoy it, and it helps them feel home-like. I feel like a little out of place. It's not the kind of
I mean, I don't. So the screen door was brutally kicked open. He did. You could tell this man like valued his house more than he values human lives, which is like really fucking sad.
social thing I do.
Oh, what I was gonna say though is, I mean, I get feeling awkward about going to holidays, but I don't know. I guess here's a pent-up bachelor rage at women who deny him sweet, sexy times. Yeah, probably.
Okay.
He's like, stupid, sexy Ashley who lives next door.
So I was staying at home, and just because there wasn't anything big happening, I was in the basement in my favorite reading chair reading a paperback.
In my favorite
on
reading
the-
chair that happens to be obscured by 2 bookshelves, so you can't see me when you're coming down the stairs.
Thanksgiving Day? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
this would have been about...
Wait, did he not call it Thanksgiving Day in favor of saying family holiday celebrations?
About 12 o'clock. exact time on the videotape. I mean, on the DVR.
So, I'm sorry, 12 o'clock noon on
Yes.
Thanksgiving Day, which was
Yesterday.
correct? Okay, on Thursday.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, the house is a very quiet house. It's got electric heat, and it's a very quiet house. And I hear someone rattling the upstairs door by the garage where everybody comes and goes. This is wrong. I mean, you shouldn't be rattling doorknobs without at least ringing the doorbell first.
Incel rage, yeah.
So I set down the book and I'm paying attention.
You know, if he says
And-
this is what happened, why didn't he go upstairs? Like, he could have just gone upstairs and been like, "Hey, what are you doing at my door? I have a gun." And then that's it.
And the chair is between the bookshelves. And I see a shadow go past the picture window. Then somebody's rattling the basement door trying to get in. But it also is locked and deadbolted. And then I see the shadow in front of
These murders ruined his Mother's Day, and he was trying to be in the best spirits for it.
the picture window for maybe half a minute or a minute.
Like I said, why didn't
Like
he
they're trying-
check? He obviously feels safe enough having guns. Michael Dunn saw the door handle outside unlatched when Jordan Davis was supposedly getting out with a shotgun. Yeah, exactly.
To see what they can see inside. Okay, this is getting unhappy. And then the shadow leaves, and I hear somebody walking across the deck. It's
Then
got
go
the wooden
look!
planks so you can hear people walk on it.
Go look, you
And
fucking
then somebody was
dumbass.
rattling the upstairs door. And I'm getting seriously stressed because somebody wants in and they're
Call
trying to
the
sneak
cops.
in, and it's happened before. So, I'm sitting there hoping they go away. It's about a minute of silence, and I hear a glass window broken, which I later found to be the northwest corner bedroom window.
Okay.
He
Where
could
were
have
you
just
at
gone
the time
upstairs.
in the house when you heard that?
I was sitting in the same chair
In the basement?
in the basement.
Okay.
I consider it my reading chair.
That chair, is that the one that's
Yeah.
like
He was getting stressed. Read out.
right off from the steps, the bottom
Yeah.
steps? Or?
He laid a trap and premeditated
color
their
is that
murders.
chair?
Exactly.
It's a reddish brown,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
and one wing arm is broken, but I don't use the wing arms. So.
Okay.
Anyway,
Is this the guy who killed 2 teens breaking into his house? Yes, it is, Michael.
so I'm sitting in the chair. Now, for the past month, my life has been very unhappy. I haven't slept very well. In fact, I'm lucky to get one good night of sleep a month.
He shot one in the eye, right? Yeah, he did. I think he shot the girl in the eye.
And I'm keeping everything locked up all the time because I'm being victimized again and again and
They call it fucking cops, I swear to God, it's not that difficult of a situation.
again. And in the past couple of weeks, I've gotten into the habit of carrying my guns with me inside my house because I don't know who's going to break in when. Well, it just happened.
Plus a kill shot to put them out of their misery.
So I'm sitting there, and I hear the steps come down the hallway, turn around, and come down the stairs. These are people who've stolen my guns.
What? No, they haven't. No, they have not. This is the first time you were bringing that up.
I figure they're willing to use guns if they steal guns. And I decide,
Also, isn't like most times when people steal guns, it's literally just to resell them? Have you heard his recordings for that night he made? We actually we finished listening to them about 20 minutes ago. They're really creepy. It's like really, really creepy ASMR.
that I've got a choice of either shooting or being shot. which is sort of what I came to when I started carrying it with me. Now, I've been, this past month I felt very threatened
Okay.
inside my own home.
Mhm.
And
Then call
the
the
guy came down the
cops.
stairs and I shot him.
You stupid fucker.
When they, you said you heard the window break upstairs, correct?
I was watching so much home invasion true crime at one point I started sleeping with a chair pressed against my door handle. Had to take a break for a while, always falling down rabbit holes, yo. Yeah, that's a mood. Mr. Cybersqueak actually got like really good home locks for our house, so I mean, obviously it can happen to anybody, but I do feel safer knowing that I have like really good like home locks.
You were downstairs. You heard footsteps down the hallway, right?
Yep.
So that would be from the bedroom, and then whoever.
Out
Do
the
you
door,
think
yep.
somebody entered in your house through that broken window?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, that's how they made entry.
Because it was easier than the dead-bolted doors.
Okay.
And I'd replaced the panel that had been easy to kick out.
Okay.
So he just decided to break a window instead.
How many footsteps
Why
did
didn't
you hear?
he-
Did it sound like one person, two people?
Why didn't he continue to like I know it's fucked up that these people were breaking his house a bunch, but he could have called the cops and he could have put more security in his around his house. Like if you live in this shitty of a neighborhood, dude, come on, beef up your house. My bedroom window has a view a mile and a half down the road. The dog starts barking when they see the headlights. Yeah, our neighborhood, our bedroom window faces the road, so it's not like I'm gonna be surprised by anything.
It was definitely one person.
Okay.
Definitely one person.
Okay.
And after I shot him, I sat down in this chair and I was just tingling. Adrenaline. I hate adrenaline. And my blood was pounding in my ears,
Did you
and
just say
I
he
just
hates adrenaline?
wanted to calm down more than anything else. And maybe, it's hard to judge the time, 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, I was just sitting there with the blood pounding in my...
I'm out in the country. I'm in like the outskirts of like a city, so it's like there's little pockets of like ruralness around the area, which I'm kind of in one. But like 10 minutes from here, I could just go to a city.
my ears. And I hear more footsteps coming down the hallway. And somebody else starts down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking back on it, what happened was everybody has red buttons. Everybody has sore spots.
What?
And I've known since grade school that being ganged up on is a sore spot with me.
Oh, a sore spot. Is it well, it's just the one side of the house and then the other side of the house. I did stop leaving the keys on the open track when I got the new Tacoma. Is it white with gray on the bottom?
I just couldn't think. I didn't think. I wasn't thinking. I was
What's
just,
a garage?
they're ganging up on me. So I killed her too. Same way, except the first shot she tumbled. And I walked over to finish her off.
Oh, that hurts. To finish her off. Oh, this guy is really, really crazy. I was going to ask if the pics were of Mr. Squeak, but I think I've related him to the subjects of your streams one too many times by now.
It was a new Mini 14 that I bought to replace the one that
Mr. Cybersqueak is just a giant question mark in real life. Nobody knows what he looks like.
had been stolen. And it jammed. My main use for it is muskrats. They destroy the bank. And once in a while a beaver, they destroy the trees.
Hey, that's not nice to kill the beavers. Beavers are nice. Stop being a bald beaver hunter.
That's the reason I have it. It's a tool. And it had jammed out on the shoreline, which is why I had the 22 with me. And it jammed, trigger clicked, and she laughed at me.
She did not laugh at you.
I just pulled out the 22 and shot her and shot her.
Okay.
Then I sat down again, and I don't think I did anything else for an hour.
No, you did some stuff, homie.
When, what time did this happen at yesterday with these two that you ended up shooting them?
Would have been about 12 o'clock.
So 12 o'clock noon yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock,
Okay.
I spread the carpets over the blood.
Okay.
Hey, TCAP recipes.
When, you said first the mail party came in the house after breaking the window in the northeast
Yeah.
corner.
All
bedroom,
over one.
correct?
Cannabis
heard
could help a
footsteps
lot of
coming
these
down the
pro-massacre
hallway.
yahoos. Honestly, though.
Then immediately did he turn and come down the stairwell, or did he go in any other rooms?
He came directly down the stairs.
My housemate got mad at me the other week because I put a bug outside rather than killing it like they wanted. I could never hurt a beaver, precious little doofy babies. Yeah, someone in my family, like, he insists on killing groundhogs instead of just, trapping them and putting them somewhere else, and I'm like, I can't. This guy's, he's like really old too, so of course he's just an older white guy who's like, I'm gonna kill it because it's a pest. I'm like, no, just move it somewhere. Call like animal control, or it's not that deep. If he just powered the big glass bong 3 or 4 times, he wouldn't be murdering people.
Okay. Then you heard footsteps coming down the stairs, is that correct?
Yes, and then I saw his feet, and then I saw his legs, and when I saw his hips, I shot.
Okay. All right. Did he, when you shot, what gun were you using at that time?
The Mini 14.
Okay. And you had that with you
The Mini
in the basement when you
14.
were sitting in your chair reading? Is that correct?
It was over by the stereo. But
Okay.
when I heard the footsteps, I stepped up, and it was maybe 5 or 8 steps away.
Okay. Do you leave that
Trying to
gun
figure out what
in
the
the
other gun
basement
he has
loaded,
is.
sitting with you?
No,
Okay. Did you have
except for the past couple weeks.
Okay.
The normal location for it is in the closet upstairs in the northeast corner.
Okay.
That's where my parents kept it. I kept it there too. It's the easiest place to get if you see muskrat in the river.
Okay. Okay.
Home defense has never been an issue until recently.
So was
Well,
your
hold on. I thought you said 12 years ago Ashley was breaking into your house stealing your jacket.
Mini 14 rifle, it was what it was, correct?
Mhm.
Was that sitting in the basement loaded at the time this mail party broke into your house?
I always keep it loaded.
Okay. Okay. How many rounds do you
Why?
keep in the gun?
Why do you always keep it? This is how you know that, like, these people are literally just getting guns to kill, like, for the day that they'll be like, oh boy, I get to kill somebody. Because they're always keeping them loaded and not storing them properly. Like, oh my god. This guy is so anxious to tell the cops about how he took these teenagers out for good. Exactly, Gorilla Spawn.
Since it jammed 3 or 4, that's all it'll hold maximum. They sell them now with small cartridges.
Okay. So you figure you had about 3 or 4 rounds in the gun?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you said you also had a 22, is that a revolver, pistol? What kind of gun was that?
It's a revolver.
Okay. How many shots is that?
It's a 9-shot.
Oh.
It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
I saw a video
I
What-
bought
saw a video of a woman who rescued an injured beaver and nursed it back to health. They make the cutest little noises. He would try to build dams with random household. Aw, that's so cute. If he had just got his mac and cheese, this would have never happened. I know, right? If his teens had brought him deviled eggs and meatballs and mac
How
and
big
cheese.
is that gun?
I don't know.
.22 revolver, do you know?
I bought it in Utah, would have been about 75 when a friend of mine and I were target practicing.
Okay. Can you describe it to me? What color is the hand grip on the gun, on the .22?
It's a wood hand grip, somewhat dark, and a standard blued finish.
Okay. And you said it's got a cylinder, of course, because it's a revolver?
Yeah, you pull and then rotate.
Okay. And then, did you have it in a holster or a gun case or anything?
Brown leather holster.
Okay.
If he was keeping that thing holstered and loaded at all times, he could have shot himself at any fucking time. Just shows how goddamn stupid he is.
We've been wearing that inside the house somewhat regularly.
Okay. Were you wearing it at the time that incident happened, that break-in occurred?
Mm-hmm.
So you had it on your,
Yeah.
where did you have it on, you had it on your person, on your body, right?
Yeah.
Okay, where did you have it?
Right here.
Okay, you're pointing to right here. Are you, you're
It's
referring
Velcro.
to your,
It's Velcro.
okay,
I mean, the brown leather holster has a belt loop.
okay, so you had it
So it's
on
really
your,
out of the way.
you had it on your belt, on your right side hip?
Yes.
That's what you were pointing, is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Was it loaded when you had it?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
I didn't even need to hear him say it was loaded. I knew it was fucking loaded. This guy is gonna shoot himself in like the leg or something.
It was still loaded when they found it. They should have found it on the closet shelf upstairs.
Okay, okay.
If not, they should pick it up because I don't want to leave it laying loose with nobody in the house.
Okay.
I normally keep my guns loaded because there are no children around, no irresponsible people around.
You're irresponsible. Holy shit.
Okay. You said you had used that .22 to shoot the female party, is that correct?
Yeah, I might have put one. I don't
All of
remember
us
clearly
have
whether
survived
the
this
shot
long.
to the man in the face was with that or not.
Okay.
I don't want to prolong the suffering. Even if I kill somebody, I don't want to leave them lay and suffer.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, with the female, after I dragged her out of the way, she was still doing some faint gasping, and I just right there.
You're saying right there, but you're pointing your finger underneath your chin?
The chin into the cranium.
Okay.
That .22 is a pea shooter. It doesn't go through bone very well.
Just to clarify with, first off, we'll clarify with the male party.
Yeah.
He was walking down the steps after you heard him coming down the hallway.
Yeah.
He was walking down the steps to go to the basement. You seen his feet first, correct?
Yep.
And then his
He probably cut a hole at the bottom of the holster so he could shoot with it on.
knees, and then his hip.
Yeah, and I
That's
shot
when you
him
shot?
somewhere in the hip area.
Okay. How many times did you shoot when you saw his hip coming down the steps?
It might have been twice. I think it was once, but it might have been twice.
Okay. Did this male party have anything in his hands at all when he was walking down the steps when you saw him? Or did you even see his hands at that point?
I didn't see his hands at that point.
Okay. So he's coming down the steps. You shoot twice. Can you tell me what he was wearing? What kind of clothes he was wearing?
Oh, he was dressed like a high schooler, but much too old. He fancy belt.
17 is high school age. I graduated from high school at 17.
Jeans.
So he had jeans on, like a fancy belt, you said. What did he have for like a shirt or maybe a jacket on? Did you see? Do you recall?
That's blank. I'm blank on that.
Okay.
One thing of importance, his shoes came off.
Okay.
His shoes, I kicked underneath the reading chair. They're still there.
Okay. Do you know what kind of shoes they are?
I checked the tread pattern on purpose. Whoever kicked in the door the previous time left their tread pattern on the door, and I brought it in to Jamie the following day.
Okay.
And he saved it in the evidence file. It had a sawtooth repeated pattern on the door, and that is characteristic of skateboard shoes. And I pointed it out to Jamie, pointing out as a piece of evidence that very few people over 30 wear skateboard shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I like them because they're the best shoe for city hiking. So I showed him a pair, showed him the tread pattern, and I said, watch for this.
Okay.
The shoes that I kicked under the chair had that tread pattern.
Okay.
What?
So those were the same shoes that the male party was wearing when he came into your house?
He
Imagine wearing the shoes that you stole from a homie to break into his house again.
was wearing them yesterday.
Mhm.
They dropped off. I checked the tread pattern, and it looked to me to match the pattern on the door panel.
Okay. When did the shoes, after you shot, he's walking down the stairs, you shoot
He shot,
twice, you said, with
people,
the
people
Mini
lose
14.
their balance on the stairs when they're shot,
Sure.
and he tumbled down to the floor.
Okay, is that when the shoes fell off of him?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So now you shoot twice with the Mini 14. You hit him in the hip area. Is that where you hit him?
Yep.
Okay. He falls down to the bottom of the steps and he's on the floor, correct?
And he's looking face up at me.
Okay. Then what?
I shoot him in the face.
Okay.
I want him dead.
Can't wait to get my own pair.
Where
Let's go find Lauren's Walmart shoes.
in the face did you shoot him? Do you remember?
I don't know exactly, somewhere near the center, and I didn't check afterwards.
Okay. Okay. And was that with the Mini 14 that you shot him in the
I think
face?
so.
Okay.
Now, at that point, there was a lot of blood, and I had a tarp laying by the fireplace that I was going to use to cover up the firewood.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled him on the tarp to keep so much blood
Mini
from soaking
14 of
into
the
the
tactical
carpet.
rifle. Okay.
Okay. Well, so did
Yeah, I'm not like the best at guns, but I figured it was something like that.
you pull him over away from the bottom of the steps over towards the fireplace?
No, I spread the tarp out and pulled him onto the tarp. I might have
Canada
moved him 2 or
disbanded
3
them. Okay.
feet.
Okay.
Then,
Where did you move him from there, from the bottom of the steps?
it would have been slightly towards the fireplace, because that's where I laid out the tarp.
Okay.
Then, I just wanted it out of my sight, and I dragged him around the corner into the shop,
Okay. In the shop area that's set up in the basement,
which
correct?
is exactly where you found him.
Okay. Okay. And then you said, then when did the female party come in? Was this after this had happened?
Before I said 2 to 5 minutes later, and since I was just sitting there stunned, that's the best estimate I can give.
Sure.
2 to 5 minutes.
Okay. Then you said you were sitting there stunned after this had happened. Where were you sitting?
Same chair.
In the same chair. Okay. And then tell me what
And
happened.
the rifle was sitting right alongside me at that time, because I had just used it.
Okay. And you fired 3 rounds. Did you reload
Possibly
the gun?
4.
Okay.
I'm not sure how many were in it. And
Sure,
then I
dude.
reloaded it, yes.
Okay. Did you have a box of ammunition sitting there, or did you have rounds in your pants pocket, or did you have to go get the rounds to reload
They
it?
were on the countertop above the stereo. I just had some loose rounds there.
Okay. How many rounds do you recall putting back in to reload the Mini 14? How many rounds did you put back in, do you remember?
The magazine only holds 3, and there was 1 in the chamber.
Okay.
So I would have put in 3,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I misfired after the first shot.
Oh, okay. So,
So the first shot, as she was coming down the stairs, as I recall, was again at about hip height, and she fell, and it repeated, except
hold on, no. If that's okay. How many times did you shoot when you saw the hip area coming down the stairs, her hip area?
I'm quite sure it would have been only once, because it's the second shot that jams coming out of the magazine.
Okay. And did you hit her with that first shot? Do you remember?
I don't know.
I,
I was
yes,
shaking
you
pretty
do.
hard. I might have missed.
You fucking
what I
know,
would
dude.
consider point blank range, but I can't say for sure I hit her.
Okay.
She did tumble though.
Was that after the first shot that she tumbled?
Yes.
Okay, so odds are you probably did hit her then.
Yeah.
I
Or I
think.
might have just grazed her.
Okay. And again, you saw the feet first coming down the steps, correct?
Yes.
From the chair, and then when it reached where you could see her hip area, that's when you fired, correct?
Yes.
obviously you didn't see
My
her
thinking-
hands at that time,
No,
or if she
my-
had
my
anything.
thinking was, I'm not going to ask if there's a gun.
Right.
You know, people who steal guns, I don't want to give them the chance to shoot me.
He talks like he was on a duck hunting trip. Honestly, like you can tell he just doesn't care about that these people were alive and people. He's fucked up.
She could have or might not have had a gun in her hands. And if there's one in the corner somewhere, or if it was inside her clothing or her purse, I didn't check.
Okay. So you shot, she came tumbling down the steps, and then you went to shoot again and the gun jammed, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what happened after that, after the gun jammed?
After the gun jammed, well, he fell with his head under the table. She fell immediately at the bottom of the steps. So you'll see two different patches of blood on the floor.
Okay.
And when the gun clicked, misfired, she laughed at me. And
When she was laughing at you, she was at the bottom of the steps on the floor?
it wasn't a very long laugh because she was already hurting. But, you know,
He
there was
hasn't
this
used the
look
he
up.
had a shotgun defense yet. He kind of did. He was like, they might have stolen my guns, even though I didn't bring that up before. Like I said, I know that like stolen guns are used in crimes, but isn't it like a lot of situations they just sell it because they're just like whatever. Every day, day after day, every time he leaves the cell, he has to turn his hateful ass around and have his hands locked behind his back. Yes, and it's very satisfying to think about that.
And, okay, there's another red button I guess most people would have. If you're trying to shoot somebody and they
He's actively trying to mold his story to fit within what the law allows. All of his references to fear. Yeah, and honestly, I think when he said to finish them off, that's when his case fucking crumbled.
laugh at you, you go again.
So,
Oh,
when,
and then right there what he just said, when somebody laughs, when you shoot somebody and they laugh at you, you go again. Like, what? No!
she laughed
Dan?
at you, how did that make you feel? Did that infuriate you, or make you upset, or?
I knew that the gun had misfired previously. I take care. I was ready. And I just pulled it out, and yes, I fired more shots than I needed to.
Okay. Why did you fire more shots than you needed to, do you figure?
32 is a pea shooter, and I was very, very threatened, unhappy.
You were mad, correct?
Yes.
Okay. She had basically enraged you for laughing at you, do you think? That was part of it?
No, that was incidental. She'd been whoever it was who was breaking.
It's weird listening to someone try to mold a story without using mini syllables every 2 seconds. If this was Lauren, we would be here for like 3 hours trying to get through this interrogation.
breaking into my home, had been doing it for so long that I was no longer willing to live in fear.
Yeah, he did that on the recording and said how scared he was while sounding calm and psychopathic exactly. The detectives over at the house are listening to the audio recorder by now. They didn't find it right away. I see.
Okay. So it was kind of correct me if I'm wrong, Byron, but it seems like a combination of things that made you mad, basically, at that point. Would that be fair to say?
I was far over the edge.
Okay. When you say far over the edge, how do you mean? Are you referring to infuriated,
No.
upset, or?
This could be Jim
how do you
Roush.
Normally when I do something, I justify it. Normally when I do something, I know exactly why I'm doing it and what I expect. I was reacting.
Okay. What were you reacting to, is what I'm asking.
The threat, the previous losses.
Okay.
I spent 20 years overseas.
Honestly, this guy really should have just moved. Like, from what it sounds like he lived with his parents, they passed, and then he inherited the house. He could have sold the house. And, like, I know from what he says, the neighborhood was bad, so he probably wouldn't have gotten, like, a decent value on the home, but Jesus Christ. He's on the verge.
A couple years in Bangkok. Several years in Cairo. several years in nasty sub-Saharan Africa, 3 years in Moscow, 3 years in Beijing.
Did you ever have to kill anyone before, Byron?
No,
Okay.
I was never even threatened.
Okay.
I never had anything stolen. There was never any vandalism.
Mm-hmm.
20 years overseas, not one problem.
Right.
And I retired to my peaceful hometown.
Okay.
Not to dwell back on it, Byron, but I almost got the story from with the female party. She had fallen to the ground. She laughed. She kind of had this laugh that you said she was when your gun misfired, and then you said you reached towards your hip, and you had the 22 on your hip, right?
I was wearing the 22. I have been wearing it inside my house for the past several weeks.
Right, and that was loaded, and it's a 9-shot. You said,
Yes.
correct? Okay. You pulled the 22. And
He
what
had
did
it
you do
since
with
the 60s. He would have made a healthy profit. Yeah, that's true.
It was partially...
Like, he literally could have done... Like, honestly, that was my first thought. If he was so fucking like, oh, this house is super in a bad area. There's some 2-year-old broke into my house, and there's ghosts, and I don't know if there was ghosts. It's just... I feel like he would say something stupid like that. He could have sold the house. He really could have.
empty.
Okay. So
If he feared for his life that much...
First round, there was not any... there wasn't a bullet in for the first time I pulled the trigger. And I normally keep it that way. It's a minor safety thing. I can always pull the trigger again.
where were you aiming? Do you recall?
Probably at her heart.
Okay. Okay.
And then she stopped moving.
Did the gun go off when you were aiming at her heart?
Yes.
And pulled the trigger?
Maybe the chest area. I wasn't aiming that accurately.
Okay.
And I would guess there were about 4 shots.
Okay. With the 22 you're saying?
With the
correct?
22, yes.
Okay.
And she stopped moving. So I grabbed her by the clothing.
By the
And
clothing?
dragged her over onto the tarp that was in the shop.
Okay.
That's where I left her.
When you shot her, you said 4 times. One was in the chest. Where were the other 3 rounds? Do you know?
That's such a weird way to put it. I grabbed her by the clothing.
I would assume they were nearby.
Near the chest, in the chest area, or?
In the upper chest.
Okay. Did you shoot her in the facial area or head area at all? Do you recall?
After she was on the tarp, she was still gasping.
Okay.
And as much as I hate someone, I don't believe they deserve pain. So I gave her a punching shot under the chin up into the cranium.
That's so much to unpack. So we just said, as much as he hates them, he doesn't want them in pain. So he gave them a mercy. He gave her a mercy shot to kill her under the chin through her cranium.
Was she still at the bottom of the stairwell when
No,
that happened?
that was over in the shop.
Oh, that was in the shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought she was dead, and it turned out she wasn't.
Okay.
So I did a good, clean finishing shot.
Okay.
And she gave out the death twitch. First time I've ever seen it in a human, but it works the same in beaver and deer and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay. When she had, like I said, I asked you before if she had anything in her hands when she was walking down the steps, but you said you never seen anything in her hands.
I
correct?
never saw her hands.
Right.
She tumbled before I saw her hands.
Right. And then when she tumbled down to the ground and she's at the bottom of your steps, did she have anything in her hands then? Because you could see her then. Did you notice anything?
Her hands were open, but she would have dropped anything she was carrying. And if there was something tangled up in her clothing or not, I didn't check.
Okay. Did she drop anything though? You moved her body, so did you notice if she dropped anything?
There was nothing she dropped that I saw on the floor after I moved her.
This guy is actually comparing
If it had
people to
gotten-
animals
her-
during their
her
death.
clothing
Exactly.
was very tangled.
He is so fucked up.
In fact, her clothing was sufficiently tangled that in the shop, Her breasts were exposed, and I pulled her shirt down again.
Hey, that's a really weird fact that I don't like that he just said. Um, hmm.
Okay. So, Byron, she had fell to the ground. You shot once with the Mini 14.
Yeah.
She came tumbling down the steps. Now she's at the bottom of the steps.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have, you didn't notice, well, she basically didn't have anything in her hands per se as far as
I
anything
wasn't
goes.
looking at her hands.
Okay.
I wasn't looking at any of the details.
But she's laying there, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And obviously you had hit her, so she's.
Oh yeah. I applaud any interrogator who manages to keep them at such a calm demeanor to get them to implicate themselves and just destroy any chance they have at a defense.
Hurt, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know how well I'd hit her.
Right.
I mean, she was still laying there looking at me. She could have gotten up again for all I know.
Okay. My question, Byron, is why did you shoot again? She didn't have a weapon in her hand. She wasn't.
Actually, I don't know if she had a weapon in her hand until
Okay.
later.
Okay.
I wasn't looking at her hands.
But she was laying there, hurt. Did she? She wasn't threatening you. I'm just. I have to
thought
ask.
she was threatening me.
Okay. Explain that to me.
I assumed she had a gun.
Okay.
Either
Up. He did the Michael Dunn thing. He did it. He did it, guys. I assumed she had a gun. Well, I thought I saw a stick or barrel of a shotgun or something. He did the thing.
inside something, or in the purse, or in her hand, or whatever. And I'm not going to wait for her to. I'm not going to ask her if she has a gun.
Right. Understandable. Okay.
I'm not going to wait until she shows it, or if she uses it while I'm looking for it.
Okay.
I had already determined that both of them, I knew they were both gun thieves. As far as I was concerned, they were totally dangerous.
Okay. All right.
You can rarely triumph in a police interrogation. These guys have heard everything 10 times. Literally, your best bet in a police interrogation is to shut up and get a lawyer, and these guys think they're so smart that they never do that.
All right. Yeah. And this happened, you said, with both parties at around noon yesterday, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe 5 or 10 minutes gap between them.
Okay. What was she wearing? Do you recall what she was wearing?
Yeah,
What was she wearing?
that was memorable. Tight black sweatshirt that said "Hard Candy." When I saw that, I said, "Yeah, you're hard." And she is well known throughout the community as a hard case.
These cops started questioning why he shot again. He wanted to pull the cop back in. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Vandalism in Belle Prairie Park, etc., etc.
What
Anyway,
what color was that? You said it was a sweatshirt, correct?
it was something like a sweatshirt, black, but better than that, she had the drawstring tight around her face.
Okay. So she had
And
to put
yes,
Okay.
and tightly drawn around to disguise any visual characteristics. The reason that struck me is that I had put up cameras to get visual characteristics of whoever it was, and she had already prepared herself to be not identified.
Oh.
Subsequently, thinking about it, I became very upset that all of this surveillance effort could have been for nothing, because she was so well.
I can see him thinking they had a gun and shooting them, but he didn't have to execute them when they were defenseless on the floor. Exactly. That is the whole thing that just ruins this case for me in terms of like, oh, I think he was justified in shooting them. He was justified in shooting them to eliminate the threat, like unarm these people, make sure that he was safe, but he didn't have the right to execute them. Lauren was the only smart one. He incriminated himself, gave him the permission to search his truck, and then asked for an attorney. I gotta say, Lauren surprisingly was kind of smart when it came to his interrogation. He was just like, I want a lawyer.
Covered up. Probably wouldn't have even been good enough to take the case to court.
Okay. Okay. Do you remember what kind of pants she was wearing, or shoes?
I remember the shoes because I was still checking for skateboard shoes. And she was wearing some sort of winter boot that was something else.
Okay.
But it was after that, since she was wearing some sort of winter boot, black and white, some sort of pattern, that I checked his shoes and saw the pattern there, because hers didn't have the pattern. I assumed, since it was a smaller wave pattern, that it was somebody with a small foot. But then I noticed on his shoes that the outside was smooth, so it would have only printed in a small wave pattern.
Okay.
So that needs to be carefully looked at to see if he was the one who kicked in the door earlier. And I've got every reason to believe that they were working as a pair.
Okay.
Well, as she went along the hall, she rattled the doorknob
Hold on.
on the front door. Apparently, she expected him to open the door to...
He knew they didn't have a gun. He was probably excited, being robbed for 15 years. Exactly. If Lauren had an attorney, he would have won the the 80 million NBC lawsuit.
let her in.
Okay.
That's just a suspicion. I wasn't there watching, but why would you rattle the doorknob if you're already inside the house? Unless you're wondering why it wasn't unlocked.
So did you hear the doorknob rattle after the window was broken or before?
Oh, there were two sets. The first time around was apparently just him. All three doors, window break, walking downstairs. She showed up several minutes later. I don't know what I would have done if they'd come down at the same time.
Okay.
But that's a what if.
Okay.
But anyway, she came in maybe 5 minutes later. Walked down the hall. She rattled the doorknob like she was curious why it hadn't been opened. Like she expected him to let her in.
Okay.
They were obviously accustomed to working with each other.
Okay. Now, you said you put both of them on a tarp and you drug both.
No, I dragged him in on the...
He didn't know who was breaking into his house or why. I mean, look at BTK. He told them he was just going to steal from them and ended up killing the whole family. Yeah, there definitely is, like I said, I do think he was right in, shooting them to disarm them from any kind of threat. It's just when he went way too far and decided to shoot them in the head. Hi Jess.
tarp.
Yes.
And then she came down later, and I dragged her onto the tarp afterwards.
Okay. Yep. Back.
It was mostly just to minimize the amount of blood in the carpet, but I'm going to replace it.
Does he think he's impressing the interrogator? None of this is making him look good. I mean, when you have an ego that inflated, you think everything makes you look good, so... Oh, hi, Mr. Cybersqueak is here. You caught me live streaming.
The carpet anyway.
Okay. And then you drug her back in right by him, is that correct? The milk party?
Yes.
Okay. And then,
shut the door so I didn't have to see him.
okay. And that's where they both
That's where
were
you
at
came
when we came to your house and you pointed out to us, showed us that's where they were, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that I...
This is the dude who recorded himself killing the two would-be robbers. He's nuts. Also, Dastardly Duo says hi.
Hello, Dastardly Duo. I'm tired.
Yeah, he just got home from work.
I'm gonna go rotate the tires on my car.
Okay. Okay.
It needs to be done, and I'm procrastinating.
Okay. You sure you have the energy to do that?
Nope.
Okay, bye.
Love you.
Love you too.
did, about an hour later, put my fingers to the vein to see if it was pulsing. It wasn't.
On who?
Both of them.
Both of them? Okay.
I just, sitting there in the chair. Okay, I don't want to do it, but I gotta check.
Okay. And you were checking to see if what? To make...
If they were still alive.
Okay.
The things that run through your mind when you're sitting there afterwards.
Mm-hmm. So after the both bodies are in that back office room that you call, what did you do? What did you go do?
That rest of that evening, the rest of that afternoon, that evening, all night long, and the next morning.
Was Mr. Cybersqueak out looking for frogs? I don't know. Probably not. Usually he looks for frogs with me. Like I think like 2 nights ago, we found a toad outside. That was pretty fun. It was a female Fowler's toad.
I was afraid of an accomplice. Bill and I had already...
He calls the girl he shot bitch or something like that. Yeah, in the beginning of the stream, I actually played, like, the really creepy audio of him, like, shooting the teens and then just talking to himself. It's
discussed this. That they probably had somebody in their house watching to see if I come driving home. To see if they see me. To see if anybody else is coming in. You know, hey, get out of there, there's somebody coming in. So,
Mr. Cybersqueak had a long day collecting frogs in his... I'm glad y'all make frog jokes, because it's pretty funny.
Bill and I really thought that their parents were in on it.
Oh, okay.
We were out looking for frogs is the most adorable thing ever. Aw, thank you, Scarlett. We have like a marshy area over by our house. So at night now we can hear all the gray tree frogs just screaming in the distance.
This was pure speculation, but 'twas it seemed reasonable. And I was sitting there afraid that most likely the brass-plated bitch would nag Scott into it, and he would come over with a gun to see what had gone wrong. I was sitting there afraid. And by this noon, I had finally reached the point where nothing's happened. I'm not going to be afraid anymore. Let's get this over with.
Okay. So that's when you called Bill, right?
Missed the beginning, but I've heard that audio a couple times. It's creepy. Still dumbfounded he audio recorded himself. Yeah, it's...
Right.
Yep.
I'm not sure what his intentions were.
But what I'm referring to is right after everything happened, okay? It's done.
I sat there for maybe 2 hours. The blood was pounding in my ears.
Yeah, it was horrific.
Back
in the reading chair.
Oh, okay. And then after 2 hours, then what'd you do? Were you home the entire time after this happened?
I was in the basement, hiding in the basement the entire time.
Okay. Did you leave the residence at all from when the incident happened up into my arrival at your home?
No.
Okay.
That was the first time I unlocked the door.
Okay. So you were home the entire time?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, I was afraid to go upstairs because I thought there might be somebody with a gun looking in the windows.
Okay.
I was hiding in that chair. You may have found my other hiding place in the back of the storeroom. When I fell over backwards, knocked my head, got that scab, I landed on my tailbone, and it hurt to sit in the same chair for more than an hour or two, so I alternated between that chair and a chair in the back of the storeroom.
Okay. And then when we came and made contact with you at your house, you went through the scene of that.
If you were dumb enough to record it, why wouldn't you hide it at least? It's not like you didn't have time. I honestly think this guy thought he was so, like, he probably thought he was so smart that they would never find it or think to listen to it.
With us and showed us what you had.
Yep.
Showed us where the bodies and that were. And then I told you that I had to place you under arrest at that time and take you into custody, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then I did a quick pat-down search of you, is that correct?
Yes.
For safety reasons. And then you had approximately 4 shells, I believe they were the mini 14 rounds in your right pocket, is that
So he
correct?
could relive his I'm very badass moment.
Yeah. The stereo was on and put them in my pocket in case the gun jammed in the back room or wherever, because I was carrying it with me every step.
Okay.
The entire time.
So you had approximately 4 rounds of the Mini 14 in your right pocket when I did a pat-down search of you. Would that be fair to say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There were about 4 in my pocket.
Sure.
It might have been 5.
Okay. And then in your left front pocket, I actually found approximately about the same 4 to 5 rounds of the 22 shells. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And I placed those actually on the table there in the basement next to where
Yes.
we had bet. Okay.
I felt very at threat because, in my opinion, Scott Williams is
Bad boy moment.
semi-psychotic. He has attacked numerous people for obscure reasons. And if he was the person watching, if he was being an accomplice, he would come down with the gun to solve whatever problem he perceived. I felt totally at threat. In fact, I'm going to sleep safer tonight here.
Byron, what clothes were you wearing when this happened? When you had shot these two that broke into your home?
After it got dark in the late evening, I snuck upstairs to my bedroom, got these pants, and took off the brown pants, same model Wranglers, and rolled them up and stuffed them in the back corner behind the shelf that holds the stereo equipment. They're still there.
In your bedroom, you're saying?
No.
Oh.
In the basement.
In the basement?
Yeah, I just stuffed them out of the way.
Okay, so they're in the basement, and you stuffed them, you said, where? I'm sorry?
Okay. The reading chair, the stairway, the stereo equipment, around on the east side of the stereo equipment, on the north side of the room, against the north wall, which is the center divider wall of the house.
Okay.
Oh, there's only like 10
And
is it kind of behind the stairs? That comes
it's
down?
underneath the stairs, except at the top of the stairs there's a landing. So it's underneath the landing where you enter the stairs.
Gotcha. Okay. And you said they're brown in color jeans?
Same as these, Wranglers, my standard brand, standard size. Thinking of it now, don't get confused on the analysis. Mike Lerke gave me a couple of beaver that he trapped in my
What
yard.
is with this man and beaver killing?
They're terrible on the trees. And one leg has a bunch of beaver blood on it.
Okay.
So there's both beaver blood and human blood on the pants.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just in case anybody analyzes it.
Right, yeah. What were you wearing for shoes then? Is that
Exactly the same as I have now.
Okay. Okay.
In fact, I've been wearing this 8:30 yesterday morning for breakfast. I was planning on doing some yard work.
Okay. So you were wearing shoes at the time this happened, correct?
I've been wearing all of this exactly as I have now, except I changed the pants sometime around midnight.
Okay. So you had the blue jean coat on also?
Yeah.
When this happened?
I keep the house cool.
Sure.
I always wear an overcoat. A heavy shirt in the winter time.
Okay. So you didn't change your shirt or your jacket at all then since
There might be
it
spots down
happened?
Did he just
Yeah,
sit
that's
in
why
his
I'm
bloody
asking.
clothes?
Yeah.
So you're saying there might be spots of blood on your jean jacket that you're wearing, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, of course he's got a jean jacket.
Same shirt.
Okay.
The tails were out at that time. I tucked them in now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I tucked them in when I changed pants.
Sure.
So there might be spots of blood on the tails of the shirt. I don't see any here.
Okay.
And the sleeves of the jacket would have covered the shirt.
Okay. I'm gonna need your clothes for analysis. Do you have any problems if I take
Are the
possession
beavers
of
bald?
your clothes for any evidence reasons?
Check them for anything you want.
So you have no problem if I would obtain them right now at this point?
No.
In a little bit here?
I'd like to have something else to
Yes, you will.
Okay.
But you don't object to me holding onto your clothes for evidence at this point?
Okay, I think that's most of what, he's got a jean jacket blazer. Very important info on the pants, just in case the family of that beaver wants to go to court too. So that's pretty much all of the interview. I figure to lighten the mood, we can watch this again, because it's really fucking funny. Hold on. Because this... This is so funny.
If you
So, like I said, I don't really know who this is. Apparently, he was accused of murdering his wife, but his behavior is just insane.
gonna arrest me, and send me to jail. You understand? I have nothing to say to you people. I'm gonna lay down, y'all. Y'all can kiss my black black at that. I think I'm gonna talk to y'all.
There he goes.
Damn thing to say, y'all.
There he goes.
Hey!
Hey!
This is a cold ass room.
Oh, let me turn this down. He's gonna throw the chairs at the wall. He likes to sit on the edge of chairs! Like a damn dude. Then he's just gonna eat. And then he's just gonna eat.
On your floor.
I'm gonna piss on your floor.
Yeah.
He gonna piss on your floor, guys. Yeah, Hulk smash, exactly.
Dude, why didn't you say something?
Holly.
You weren't saying you needed to go back?
Holly.
I was a caretaker and had to take care of a guy like this. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dastardly Duo. This video just gets more whack. Oh. He's gonna throw the chairs again.
You can see me.
You can see me. There must be petunias down there. Chris, take a seat right there. This guy literally takes it and throws it at a wall.
You can't make me talk to you.
I know, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, look at this little ragged ass shit.
This guy is absolutely insane, and it's really funny. Mr. Cyber Squeaks back, by the way. Hi. Kelpill says hi.
Hi, Kelpo.
What's wrong?
I'm just tired.
Oh, okay. He peed on the interrogation room floor,
You alright?
That guy.
and he keeps
No,
throwing
not
chairs.
Alright.
That's why we can't have nice things.
This is why we can't have nice things.
I'm not talking to
And then
you
he-
people.
Is he laying in his pee?
But you're gonna have to let me go eventually. I'm pressing charges.
On this one, he... It's just like, why is he... He's waiting for Lorne. Like, what is he doing? He's like ripping out the ceiling. He's wheezing like he's got asthma or something. He's gotta take his inhaler like, shit, what was his name? I forget his name. The old dude who just like was
Hey!
Hey!
Mother.
What is wrong with this man?
Man, you can't just freeze a person.
What are you trying to do?
You can't freeze me.
Freeze you, sit down.
The cops!
You can't freeze me.
Sit down.
What are you
You
doing?
can't freeze me.
Stop tearing up stuff. I won't be tearing this stuff.
You can't freeze me. If I won't talk to you,
Sit down before we go.
it'll try.
Oh, and then here goes. Here goes.
Told you to attack.
throws the whole table. Oh, God. Please tell me he poops on the table. No, he
Take
just...
me out of here.
Put it down.
Take me out of
He
here.
just destroys it. And then he tries to do like a... Is that like the pee spot right there?
Mr. Sheldon, can you stand up?
Beat me up?
No. Stand up.
I don't want to.
I was expecting to come back to Byron.
Alright, look.
I figured we finished the interrogation off the verge, and I figured we'd end this on he might have if they left him in there long enough. Figured we'd end it on like a lighthearted kind of thing, cause listening to Byron is much. It's a lot. And now he's not gonna cooperate with the pictures.
Turn him that way.
No.
Well, let her take a picture.
No.
Take a picture of what you saying she did.
No,
to you.
I need a lawyer. I'm 73 years old. You
Look it up.
like this shit.
Here you go.
It's not
Here you go.
You know,
Come on. Come on.
if
Put
I
your arm
should've
in.
knocked them this here.
Oh God. So yeah, that's I've been streaming for about 2 hours now, so I think I'm gonna head off. I have class soon too, so this is fun though. I like doing true crime stuff, so I think I'll do Michael Draga, however you say that next. If you guys have any like suggestions of other stuff I should cover, then just let me know, shoot me an email.